All right, we are back for book 24. First question is, did you put more books in there? Because last time we had already gone through all of them and none of them were available, except for the one that you did last time.
So, I did, because part of the reason I did it is because there is this one author.
I'm getting really bad lighting because of that light right there, but there we go.
Anyway, there's this one author who I've been wanting to read for a while, and so I kind of put, there's like this thing where if they don't have a book or anything, but like they might be getting it, they'll have it in their log, and you can basically put like notify me when this book gets
Available
into your log, like your
Yeah.
Anyways, so basically I found out. I thought my show was playing, but it was on mute. I was gonna be so mad. Anyways, so basically I got a notification that that book was available and a few other books by this author were available, and I got so excited because I wanted to read a book by her. So then I chose some other books too, by like different authors and stuff that sounded interesting, and I put them in here too.
Okay.
So I just kind of started ranting there.
Oh yeah, that's full. This one feels like a new one.
Looks like this is available. I don't know why I said it like that. Bruh, that was actually.
It's not available.
No, it was.
We're gonna go through this whole thing again.
It was yesterday.
Here's an old one.
Two fell out. They're both old, so that one's literally just down here. That one's taken. And that one's taken.
Book number 4.
Bruh, that one's taken.
Oh my gosh.
That was a new one too.
Number 5.
Oh, I ripped that. Oops. Please be free, because I low-key love this movie, although I hate one of the characters in it because she's annoying as hell. Oh my god. Yes, it's finally free.
You got it? Which one?
The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Did you check it out
Oh, right
before somebody else does?
there.
Okay.
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, because it's a movie.
Okay. With one headlight. All right, there you go. That's book number 24. So we shall see you when we see you. We literally just chose the book. Yesterday, and we even watched the movie yesterday, and he's already done with book number 24.
Yeah.
And what book was it that you read and we watched the movie of?
The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah.
I already know what it's about because I watched the movie with you.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us about the book and what differences it had from the movie.
There's quite a few differences, and also I do want to say there is a lot of deleted scenes that would just kind of make more sense if they were in the movie, or it would have been nice to have them in the movie. And I hear a lot of people say that those deleted scenes just alone could probably create their own movie.
So are these deleted scenes available in an extended version of the movie that you can buy on Blu-ray or something?
You can probably find them on YouTube.
Okay, I'm just asking too. Okay.
Like I found a whole bunch of deleted scenes on TikTok.
Yeah.
But that's getting banned in a few days, so. Anyways.
Yeah, we're all upset about that, but we're not going to get into it.
Yeah. So basically, the difference is the movie takes place like 2011, 2012. The book came out in 1999 and takes place in 1991 and 1992 because it takes place his freshman year. So.
Was it based on a true story?
No, but I'm sure it's probably inspired by like
actual
people's
events.
Real lives and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because it talks a lot about like mental health and stuff. So basically, there's quite a few like heavy topics it talks about. It talks about like obviously like mental health, like depression, um, PTSD, trauma, and it also talks about child sexual assault. Um, whole bunch of other stuff like drug use, all that stuff. Anyways, just like in case anybody wants to read it, but like it's kind of a heavy book, like some other books that I've read last year. Um, Basically, we follow a 15-year-old boy named Charlie. He's going into his freshman year, and it's basically just him. He doesn't really have that much friends, and eventually he meets these two seniors who are siblings, and he becomes friends with them. And it's just kind of him like dealing with depression, having these friends, and like their lives and all this stuff. One thing that I like in the book is that him and Candace, his sister, have like a deeper relationship rather than in the movie, and they even filmed in kind of important scenes in that happen in the book, but they didn't put it in the movie. And then his only friend he had two friends in middle school, like right before he went into high school. One of them ended up taking his life, and the other one, she doesn't talk to him anymore, partially because their other friend took his life, and partially just because she just kind of drifted apart from him, and that their friend's suicide played a role in that probably. But basically it's just, there's like a lot, and it kind of, there's a little bit more to Brad and Patrick's relationship that they have. Like it kind of goes a little bit more in depth rather than the movie. A lot of like pretty spot on scenes. Oh, is that good? And the book kind of does the same thing with the movie, where at just random points in the book and in the movie, we get these random flashbacks of him with his aunt, who he kind of like idolizes. It was his favorite person ever. It does involve family a lot more in the book rather than the movie. Like in the movie, the only people we really see are his brother, his sister, his parents, and his aunt. While in the book, we see cousins, more aunts, and his grandpa, and all this other stuff. Oh my god, is the carpet good? And so, oh my god, I've heard some people say that he like might be autistic, but it's never directly said in the book, so I'm not gonna say that he has autism. But I've heard people say that he does show like characteristics of that, so that might be something. But I was reading like some reviews after I read the book, and there was one person who rated it 5 stars, so I kind of started reading his review on Goodreads, and basically he was just like talking about how it didn't go like too in depth about his trauma, and it like the writing wasn't like super descriptive and all this stuff, and he's kind of like emotionless. But the thing is that I feel like it's kind of good that it's set up that way, because first of all, the book is kind of set up like the last book that I read, because Dracula is like these letters that are being sent, these diary entries, like that's how it's set up. In the book, in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, it's Charlie writing these letters to an unknown person, a friend of his, and that friend's kind of, I guess, supposed to be the audience who's reading or watching the movie. So it's like the narrative is like that's set up that way, and then it obviously it's not going to be super like descriptive and all these like metaphors and similes and all this stuff because it's a 15-year-old boy. I don't think he really cares about that stuff. And then the guy was basically talking about how he's kind of emotionless and it doesn't dive too far into his trauma, but like the reason it doesn't do that is because like throughout the book he's having these like flashbacks and he's kind of starting to interpret not necessarily interpret, like remember things that happened to him, because the flashbacks that throughout most of the book with him and his aunt, they're like, oh, these like cute little memories, but towards the end of the book it's kind of like a darker meaning, and so like he's kind of remembering things like how they actually happened, and so it makes sense that didn't really go too deep into his trauma per se, just because his mind is kind of messing with him, I guess you could say, and he's remembering things differently than they probably actually happened. And then the reason he's probably like emotionless is we're dealing with an extremely depressed 15-year-old boy. That's the main character, that's the narrator. So it makes sense that he talks more sad and talks in this more like sad kind of emotionless way because Charlie's extremely depressed. He's dealing with a lot. There's a moment where all his friends pretty much just cut him off. And Mary Elizabeth is much more annoying in the book than the movie. So there's that. Anyways, yeah. So.
All right, there you go. What book was that again?
The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky.
And it came out what year?
1999, I believe.
There you go.
And the movie came out in 2012. Which, one thing, speaking of which, first of all, I didn't cry for most of that book. The epilogue made me bawl my eyes out. And it's kind of, because the epilogue kind of goes from like pretty sad to kind of happy, but I was crying the entire time. And then the afterword, which is after the epilogue, this is weird because this is in the book and it was published when the book was, and it was published when the book came out. It jumps to the future. The book takes place.
Ow, you just stepped on my foot.
The book takes place in 1991, 1992, and it jumps 20 years prior, which just so happens to be 2012, which just so happens to be when the movie was released. It's a coincidence, but it's weird. Anyways, so yeah.
All right, take him to the bathroom.